Hey Fred, how
Lord.
are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing, brother?
Nice. First of all, I would like to thank you for being the first artist and producer interviewed in this program. I will make sure that this interview, I will keep it in my heart because it will be like the first artist that wanted to be interviewed. Tell us a little bit about you. What are you doing right now? And if you want to talk about something that you are recently doing.
All right. Thank you once again. It's my pleasure to be the first guest. It will also be in my heart. Thank you for the invitation. Basically, my project, Fred Aster, has started in 2020. That's when I released my first album, and I released a couple EPs since. I'm also the manager and owner of the Blur Records label, which is an electronic music label that has a weekly podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Apple Podcasts. And we also do events here in my local city of Luanda, Angola. So yeah, it's been a challenge being so far away from the center of what is electronic music in Berlin and Barcelona and UK and all of that. But it's fun anyway because we doing new things here and trying new things, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you.
Every sound that is included in that track transports you to another place and puts you in a mood. So, talk us a little bit about what was your inspiration in your track.
So for Summer Madness, it came to me right at the start of summer in Angola, around September, October, which is different from places like Europe and the US. I was honestly feeling super anxious because it had been I think a year and a half since my first album, and I hadn't made anything new since. I was just managing the label and taking care of other things. So I was getting sort of anxious and nervous because I couldn't do anything new, and I wanted to catch that summer evening vibe to it, when it's still warm from the day and the city is alive and buzzing, and you can smell the hot tar, which is the streets. In Angola, it rains when it's summer, right? So it gets wet and there's a certain smell to it. And I don't know, I was both being inspired by the beginning of summer and also feeling really anxious and nervous that I needed to come up with something, and I'm glad it ended up okay.
Tell me about your musical references because I am really interested in know where you're coming from.
I come from a family was into music a lot. My father being Angolan, and we always had a lot of records and albums at the house. So I don't want to sound too full of myself, but if I had to pick, I'd say something like Tom Jobim, which is a Brazilian bossa nova composer. Miles Davis, as a DJ, maybe Mark Farina. It was the Mushroom Jazz albums really influenced me when I was growing up. LTJ Buckham as well is a famous drum and bass producer that does a lot of liquids, which is a sound that is similar to what I do in house, that jazz, soulful funk sound, but in drum and bass, right? And also lastly, if I had to give one last one, I think MJ Cole. He's garage two-step producer from the UK that did a couple of albums that were really influential, and I really love them. I feel kind of dirty though because I'm leaving a bunch of other people out, but I would say something like that.
If you would have to describe your music with three adjectives, which ones would be?
Oh my, that's very hard. Let me think for a second. Soulful, for sure. Jazzy, and let's go with lo-fi. So soulful, jazzy, lo-fi. I would say it like that.
If you could just select one track of all time, which one would be your favorite?
Probably Wave by Tom Jobim. It's the name of the album, and there's one track called Wave. I think it might be even the greatest album ever made, in my opinion. I still think bossa nova is probably the best original genre that came out in the 20th century. And it's just a lovely album from start to finish, and it changed for me at least how music is perceived. That bossa nova sound, I think it transported to a bunch of different genres over the years. So I would say Wave by Tom Jobim.
This is your moment to plug whatever you want to talk about your project. So tell us everything that we have to know.
All right, so I've got actually an EP coming soon. It's going to come out on the beginning of May. at my own label, Blur Records, which was the same. All the tracks of Fred Aster were released on my own label. This one is going to be called French Cat. And I'm teaming up again with a lyricist from the US. His name is L Speaks, and he has collaborated with me on another track called Jazz Space Pool, which came out last year. It's pretty cool. I think your listeners will like it. I will send you a preview to you so you can listen, and maybe you can even premiere it if you want. It will be cool. I would love to do something like that. And your followers might also enjoy it. I've also got a bunch of new stuff coming out on my label from a lot of different artists. We have releases scheduled until right now, I think, end of August. So, and it's 2 tracks every Friday until the end of August on Tracksource, Spotify, Beatport, all the major stores. So that's what I would tell your followers to go to my label, because that's what I'm most proud of. Managing that label and getting all these artists from all around the world to release. Also, we have a forthcoming vinyl release from DJ and producer Screw, which is one of the top disco producers in the world, in my opinion. And he will be releasing our 4th vinyl release on Juno Records UK. And right now you can buy the 3rd vinyl release, which is still available. The first one and the second one are sold out, but the 3rd one is available with producers Color Jacks, Tima Karkis, and Manuel Kane. So 2 producers from Greece and another producer from Belgium, and they were the ones that did the last vinyl for us. And we have that 4th one forthcoming, and we have a 5th one planned for the end of the year. So that's yeah, I think that's enough.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Like you have the full schedule ahead.
Yeah.
Really nice. Yeah. Anything else that you want to add to finish?
Yes, I would like to thank you once again. You know, I got really excited when I saw someone sharing that track. I really love that track in particular. And I would like to thank all your followers and listeners to checking me out and checking our work. And I would like to say goodbye to everyone. And thank you once again.
Okay, so see you soon. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.